You're not imagining it. The silence feels personal, not because they don't care, but because it feels too controlled to be nothing. When someone goes quiet after closeness, your mind tries to solve it like a puzzle. You replay the last message, the last look, the last moment that felt warm, and then nothing. No explanation, no softness, just space where connection used to be. Here's the part that stings. Silence doesn't just remove reassurances, it turns your nervous system into a detective and your heart into a question mark. But I want to name something gently, guys. Not all silence is rejection. Sometimes, and especially in this case, it's self-protection wearing the mask of distance. There are people who don't pull away because they feel nothing. They pull away because what they feel is too much and they don't trust themselves with it. They might even be the kind of person who can show up beautifully in small bursts, present, I see they're attentive, almost magnetic, until the moment starts to become real. And then something in them tightens. Their warmth becomes cautious. Their words become measured. Because closeness doesn't just feel like closeness to them. Closeness feels like a risk. It's not that they don't understand your value, it's that they don't know how and what to do with the responsibility of your emotions once they sense them. So the silence becomes a strategy, not a cruel one necessarily, just a familiar one, a way to keep control, a way to avoid saying the wrong thing, a way to avoid feeling exposed. And when you are the person on the receiving end, it can feel like being left in the dark without your own hope. Because your brain keeps asking, if it meant something, why wouldn't they just say it? And your heart keeps answering, because it did mean something. People who shut down often carry an old belief that they don't say out loud. If I get too much, I will lose myself, or they think, if I show emotions, I'll be trapped, or if I admit I miss you, I'm gonna look weak, or if I get attached, I'll get hurt. So instead of communicating, they just retreat into composure. Instead of clarity, they offer distance. Instead of vulnerability, they offer the one thing they can control, absence. And you might notice the strange contradiction. They're quiet, but they still watch. They still check. They still linger in subtle ways. Not enough to soothe you, but enough to keep the connection from fully dying. That's not because they are playing games like a villain in your story. It's because they are fighting an internal conflict where they don't fully trust closeness, even when they want it. Inside their mind, it can sound like this. I miss them, but if I respond, I'm opening the door. If I open the door, I might not be able to close it. If I can't close it, I'll lose control. And if I lose control, I'll end up needing something, and needing is terrifying for them. So they choose the safer pain, silence. But let's be honest about what this does to you. It teaches your body to stay on alert. It trains you to accept crumbs as proof of care. It makes you over-interpret small signals because you're actually starting for straightforwardness. And if you've been carrying this for a while, you may have started shrinking your needs just to keep the connection alive. So basically, I feel that you have been making a compromise here. Now that's the moment I want to slow down. So take a breath here, not to calm yourself into accepting less, but to come back to your own center. Because the most important truth isn't what their silence means. It's what your nervous system has been forced to do in response to it. A healthy connection does not require you to become smaller to be kept. It doesn't require you to decode, to chase, to guess, and hold your feelings in a tight fist so you don't scare someone away. If their inner world is conflicted, that's real. They're scared, and that's human. They're overwhelmed, that's also understandable. But none of that changes this. You deserve clarity. And clarity isn't just a message, clarity is a pattern. It's consistency that doesn't punish you for wanting closeness. So, what's the evolved way to actually hold this? That's the question, guys. You stop treating their silence like a verdict on your worth. You stop using their emotional capacity as the ruler you measure yourself with. Instead, you see it as information about what they can handle right now, not a prophecy, not a promise, not a guarantee of what they will become, but something more, a snapshot also of their current ability to meet you at your level. And that shift is powerful because it loosens the grip of false responsibility. You're not responsible for making someone brave enough to love you out loud. You're not responsible for proving you're safe by raising your needs. You can hold compassion for their fear without volunteering to be the place they hide. And if you still feel connected to them, you can keep your heart open in a grounded way, not by waiting in anxiety, but by returning to your own life, your own steadiness, your own emotional dignity. Because your energy is not meant to circle the same unanswered question until it becomes your identity. Let their silence be what it is, an attempt to manage their own internal pressure. But let your life be louder than their avoidance. You don't need dramatic closure to reclaim your peace. You don't need a perfect explanation to step back into self-respect. Sometimes the most healing clarity is simple. If it requires me to abandon myself, it isn't love I can live inside. And the moment you stop negotiating with silence, something in you relaxes. So your heart doesn't harden, it just stops begging. And that's when your presence becomes undeniable. Not because you demand it, but because you finally choose yourself without any kind of bitterness. So guys, I'm advising you to believe in yourself, to actually fully focus on your energy, to stop getting worried, to stop actually thinking about what you want to get from this person's energy. They will actually choose and decide whether they want to come to you, and if they feel like they won't, regardless of their fears, it means they are not worthy of you. See you in the next video.